All right. Let's have a conversation about these protests. The protesters that are out here with guns. So let's have a conversation about that because I guess we need to. It's a gentleman in North Carolina that confronted the protesters and said that why if you're having a conversation, why you need guns? Well, you've got to understand that. You got to understand, first of all, who's out there with guns, and you have to understand what they're saying. You have to understand what they represent. That it's kind of like the Nazis. They had they had the SA, the brown shirts, and those were taken from people who were former veterans of World War I, and they had been used for attacking communists, attacking other groups. They had been doing that. They've been doing it. And the government had been using them for that purpose long before they became an organized governmental group. One thing we got to look at after this coronavirus thing ends, and I'm talking about this is a lasting thing. We got to look at white supremacy, because it seems to me that in every age, whether it be the Tea Party, whether it be all the racism with Obama, talking about they'll do it with the TSA and stuff like that. I think Obama was going to bring the state with fighter jets and lock the state down. South Carolina will separate from the country. I remember Texas will separate from the country. You had that back then. I remember. I don't want people to think that, oh, America elected a black man. We're not No, I remember how bad it was. It was a lot of racism back then. So, Obama did a lot of things that pushed forward the neoliberal plan. Not like he did a lot of things to help people or push socialism. I didn't see that. I seen Obama as a guy that's like, all right, let's go back to basics. Let's go back to being a legitimate country. And, if you call cooperating with the UN and things like that socialism, then you might be ideologue. But for most people, I think Obama was let's go back to what America's supposed to be. And he was what Dr. King, I think, was fighting for, by and large. Trump is a return. Trump is America saying we don't want to be a world-class country anymore. Trump is America saying we don't want to lead the world. We don't want to be progressive. We don't want to be the leader of the free world, whether it be in going into deep space, undersea projects, life extension technology, what's the other one I'm thinking about? And now dealing with this pandemic, that with Trump, America's saying, no, we abdicate that. We don't want to sit at the table of the brotherhood of man. We don't want to do that. We have no interest. We have no interest in that. We just want to be racist and homophobic and bigoted, and that's all right. That's what I see. Got off subject. What I'm saying is the Trump supporters, the people you see out here stopping traffic and blocking traffic at hospitals and running around with guns and rifles, that's what they are. And if Trump doesn't get reelected, those people aren't going to go away. Like that, they're not going to poof, disappear. Like Dr. King being, when he was murdered, his supporters didn't disappear. The SCLC didn't disappear. SNCC didn't disappear. Same thing with Malcolm X. His people didn't the Nation Islam didn't just disappear. And I just realized that, Trump does kind of somewhat keep them under control. He used them as a puppet group for his own purposes. But I realized that there were a problem that needs to be dealt with. I'm not sure how, this guy was talking about why do they have guns. Well, it's because they're not. It's not really about the quarantine. I feel like we're having culture wars right now. Oh shit! Damn it! Spilled my drink. We're having culture wars right now, and what white people are saying is we're at the line now. That to us, the world is supposed to revolve around the Caucasian. The whole world and everything in it. And so the idea that I can't get my hair done, I can't get my nails done, my nail, I can't buy fertilizer, what else? The fact that I can't do those things It's kind of like that. Remember that guy in Indiana, the city council, that stepped up and said the white man has never had less power than he does now. And I was shocked because I had never heard white folks say that. I mean, he came out to city council and said that. And he was like, we got a sodomite running for office. That's because the Caucasians in power. Those people are. The people who think that white people are just superior to everybody else on earth. And I'm talking about not Caucasian race. Okay, because there's a lot of Caucasians. Russians are Caucasian. You got the Scandinavians, you know, it's all different cultures. But as far as redneck people in the Midwest and the South, them saying that we're not going to allow the world to change. We don't want to progress any further. So we're gonna show up with vests and guns. I just don't want people. When that guy said that, he did what sometimes white folks do. They don't recognize that like the world changes. You understand? Like the world today is not the world of 2000. We're 20 years in the future. Like the world's changing in good ways and in bad ways. And you know, like I said, them having guns out there it's a political statement, not about what's it called. We don't get our way, we're willing to engage with violence. And yes, I put the mass shooters in there too. In my little list. The Tea Party and all that. Mm-hmm. Because this is my thing. These aren't issues that involve firearms. They're not. Coronavirus pandemic, coronavirus quarantine and the response to it does not involve firearms. We're not being attacked by a foreign enemy. So why do rednecks feel the need to go out with rifles and vests? Because they're losing. They're losing. They're losing, and they're going back to what they were. They're regressing. They're going back to the slave patrol. You know what I mean? Like the black man that was running and two white men chasing down and shot him, the father and son. This is what I'm talking about. There was a woman that ran down a black girl. Was talking about because they were black or something. There was a guy in Raleigh years ago. They called him George Zimmerman 2.0. Like he was a joke, and he shot some guys. Talking about they're racing up and down the street, and there's a party. I'm gonna get the neighborhood watch. It was on neighborhood watch there, and he went out there. He said, "I fired a warning shot," and he killed the guy. He killed a black man. He went to prison for it. You know, all of this. This represents a sense that the Caucasian is losing. It does. It all this represents something. That Caucasian is almost like animals. Isn't it crazy? It's like they develop the jungles and they dig into the jungles and they cut down all the trees and you have these animals coming out. And I believe that affects the diseases too. Because I believe you always had diseases in the jungle. You always had things that we didn't know about. And the more you dig into the jungle, the more we're gonna find stuff that maybe we weren't supposed to find. I believe in forbidden technologies. I believe there's certain technologies now and in the future that we should not attempt to research. We should just stop right there. There are some technologies like that that it should be forbidden. That's like a hazmat. There are some hazmat materials that you forbidden. You cannot transport them. Period. I don't care what you got. Performance oriented packaging, you just can't. But just like those natural resources, just like those rainforests and things like that, deep dark forests and jungles, that's like what white people are. They have their little areas, they have their little towns that are like 90% white and stuff like that. And as a black person, you're shining a light on something that they don't want a light shined on, and so you have these cases. pulling guns, shooting people. You know, I mean, it gets me that conservatives want to talk about taking their rights, but I don't hear conservatives ever talking about this kind of stuff. About how they have conservatives that make the discussion of gun confiscation very easy. You're making a discussion very easy for us when you do these things. Chasing dude down, Judge Zimmerman 2.0, the post office, the two black women had the masks on, and white man pulls a gun on them talking about, you trying to get me sick. And thank God the girl got a picture of the license plate and the police came go to his house and got him. Thank God for that. Thank God for that. You know, the one you had up in here, South Park, a couple years ago, a white woman come up there to the black women talking about, I'm 40 and I'm 60 and she's drunk as fuck and all this. It's the same thing. They don't want you in their areas. They don't want that. They don't want the world to progress any further. You know, in a way, we are in a civil war. You got the Jetsons and the Flintstones. Who was it that says that? I think it was D.L. Hughley said that. I'm with the Jetsons. I mean, that's one reason why I don't go out to events and stuff out here in Charlotte. I know I don't fit in, and I'm not. That's not race. I'm kind of moving away from the racial thing so much. I realize it's really about classes. I've been saying that for a while. You got blacks that are Flintstones. You got blacks that are homophobic. Yeah, you know, you got black people who in a lot of ways support Trump. I said that in the beginning that if Trump had done things differently, Trump could have got a lot more black people. Oh yeah. You got black folks now that support him. Hell yeah. That wouldn't be hard to find for you. It's just that you know, Trump blames everything on the foreigner. And he blamed things on black people too. I believe Trump wouldn't have got the black vote. I don't think his policies would have ever allowed that. But I think if Trump had done things a little bit differently, he could have probably got a lot more black people. Oh yeah. And that's bad, but I'm just making the point that he's an idiot and he's like I said all the time, people walk a path. I walk a path. You walk a path. My cologne, the way I walk, the way I drive, the way my car smells, the way, my jewelry, all those things. That's demonstrative of me. Trump's arrogance and belligerence is demonstrative of him. That's not going to change. If he gets reelected, if he doesn't, he goes to prison. That's not going to change unless he's in a correctional facility and he has to change. And they're like, listen, you coercion, People don't change. People don't change. Well, I'm just making a point to you that the white people out here, it's kind of a beautiful thing. Like I'm kind of beginning to be a hyper capitalist, and I don't hear anybody talking about it, which is saying that we should allow these things because when Trump goes to the UN and everybody's laughing at him, it hurts him in a different way. When Trump lets all these cops get killed and the police unions turn on him, that's going to hurt him in a different way. When Trump gets a lot of doctors and nurses hurt and calls them thieves and all this stuff, it hurts him. When you see people supposedly protesting the quarantine, but they have Nazi flags. I think one of them had a noose in the picture. I didn't see it, but someone told me about it. They got rifles and masks and all that. I think it proves a point. I do. I think it proves a point to Europe and to the rest of the world what America has become, what America is becoming. And I think that, so I'm looking past Trump. Like, Trump's going to die one day. Trump's not going to be president forever. He's probably not. I think it's more important to defame the United States and to let rednecks show the world just how nasty they really are. And yeah, there are people in other countries that support them, but it's like when Trump retweeted those hate guys in Britain. Britain first, some more racist shit, and he retweeted, and the British were like, "What are you doing?" I think that hurts him in a different way, and I'm not gonna vote for Trump, but I just don't have this hope that we'll get some sexy cosmopolitan liberal that's gonna clean the slate. I don't have any hope of that. Like, I watched Star Trek and I felt like we lost that. Maybe that'll be possible again, but the era I'm living in, like, I don't see any kind of hope of, human decency, diplomacy, democracy, people getting involved. What's the word? Damn, I can't remember the word for it. I don't see the chance of that kind of word. I'm not talking about Star Trek going into deep space. I'm talking about the morals, the ideals of Star Trek. I don't see that. I think the last chance we had of climate change and all that was probably with Al Gore. So, like, more and more every day, I believe that was probably we lost that. And so, to me, coronavirus is representative of our new reality. Like, I think there'll be more pandemics. Like, people talk, my brother believes climate change is going to be here in his daughter's time. And I don't believe that. Like, I think we're living in climate change right now. I don't think he cares. That's what conservatives do. Like, I don't care about gay people until their brother's gay. I don't care about transgender until their nephew is a transgender. I don't care about legal immigrants until their neighbor is a Hispanic whose cousin is illegal. You know what I'm saying? They don't. They're selfish people. Not that my brother is, but that's just the way those people are. I just make the point that I'm at the point. Look, like Michael Brooks said, we lost. Okay, we lost this election. Okay, the devil won. We lost. Biden lost. Not Biden. Bernie. I might lose. Bernie lost, man. And like my Sam Cedar said it on Majority Report, I think maybe we can't depend on the working class to wake up. Maybe we can't hope that people wake up. I wish they went further on that and done a thing. I mean, we don't want to attack the people. And we don't want to attack people who are ignorant. I get it. And that's probably what Sam Cedar would say, is that those are still supporters and he's still, content-driven people supporting him. I get it. But I'm going to say it, because I don't make no money on this. I'm going to say it, that we can't depend on people. I mean, black folks don't wear masks. Black folks aren't paying attention to this stuff, man. Coronavirus. This just is a slide example. If they're not paying attention to that, that affects their lives. Probably don't pay attention to politics either. It's a big game to them. This quarantine, this stuff. They don't take this stuff seriously. Black folks don't wear masks. They don't practice social distancing. None of that stuff. None of that. And I don't think you have any hope, of a legitimate, reasonable People's Party. Peace out.